Hey, didn't even know how I was going to start this video or anything, so I'm just going to do it and say, I guess, like, try and convey a message. I think if that's what I'm trying to do, I'm not sure. But in this video, I'm going to edit it and include a little video of me, like, showing my ridiculously fat and unhealthy body. And to me, it's like probably the biggest embarrassment, the biggest shame I live with, because not so much what other people think, definitely my students and the people that look up to me and stuff, but for what I think of myself as well. My whole life I've been this super motivated, super fit, no body fat, muscly, and just a fucking training machine where no excuse was ever allowed to impede what I had planned to do. Didn't matter if I was doing a 30-kilometer run from Tingalpa to Wynnum and then carrying packs and back, whether it was doing like the heaviest bench, dead squats, pushing cars, pulling cars, pushing trucks, pulling trucks, like running up mountains as fast as I could. My whole life I have always tried to be that physical specimen that I wanted to be growing up, looking at role models and stuff. I'll talk more in a different video later on, but I guess the path to becoming a fat fuck was not one that I set out to do. I'm not putting blame on anyone, even myself. It's just a series of unfortunate incidents, lead to, getting to mid-40s and sort of realizing that you're that bloke in the mirror that you said you'd never fucking be, and now you're him. So a quick bit to sort of start how that started was when I was finally convinced that I needed to start taking medication for my PTSD and depression. I was in a psych hospital, and they said, mate, you're one of the worst cases we've seen, that we've captured before you've actually taken your own life. So we need to try and get you on the right medication and everything else. And I basically told them to fuck off. No one tells me what to do. I've never given up on anything in my life. I'm not going to give up on myself, my wife, and my kids. And they then got some vets to talk to me about an incident where one of their boys, won best section commander, best shot. We won best section. I won some of the awards in the army, and they said, Jace, he was just like you, mate. They used to joke the same, same as what your Sarge Major told us, was Jace wasn't born, he was he was issued. And that whole bleed green thing for the army, we don't bleed red, we bleed green, because that's what soldiers do. So in the back of my head, I always had this thing as a soldier that I had to be the best. Like when I went to my CO to start talking about the things that I was going on, and like I hadn't slept for 8 nights at one stage, and he literally said to me, Hody, you're the toughest NCO I've got in this battalion. If everyone sees you crumble, mate, it'll be a domino effect, and we'll have people, fall on left and right. So I need you to keep it together. Our battalion's already combat ineffective, and I worked directly for the CO and the RSM at that stage. And he told me to keep that to myself, and I did. 8 months later, I was in a fucking world of hurt, and to the point that I ended up in a psych ward, because I didn't know how to not take my life. I didn't want to take my life, but I was at that stage where I was like, what was happening up here, as much as I tried to control it here and everything else, it's fucking, it was the shittest feeling in the world. Then fast forward to my talk with the vets, and they told me that the bloke that was like me couldn't live with his family, couldn't live without his family. Just like you, Jace, his wife and kids are everything. So one day he wrote a letter and left it behind, put his wife and kids in the car and drove them off a bridge under the false pretense of taking them all on a picnic holiday for the weekend. Hearing that, I went straight back to the captain that was trying to get me to take the medication up at the hospital. And so whatever these fucking magic pills are, I'll start taking them. So I started on a small dose, and week 1, week 2, doubled the dose, week 3, doubled the dose. Now at week 4, when I started these fucking tablets, I literally probably had a 10-pack, ripped as fuck, fit as fuck, could roll all day, could punch all day. Even though I had like my broken back and the injuries and stuff that I had, I'd stayed on top of them through training, constantly training so much that my ideology was I want to build steel cables at my back so that if the bones aren't working, the fucking muscles will do the job of the muscle and the fucking bones. I don't want to be a weak cunt. I don't ever want to be seen as someone that accepts mediocrity as being okay. 4 weeks, I'm now at the psychiatrist. I have lost my abs. I've now got no abs, and I've also got my first little bulge of my tummy. 4 weeks, it's all fucking took. I told him, is it normal that my dick shrinks? I said, I'm not imagining this. My wife has confirmed it, because I'm like, am I going crazy or is this? And she's like, oh, she didn't want to say anything first, you know, because like, you never want to tell your man that. And I said, I need the fucking know, bub. I need these things to talk to my psychiatrist. And she said, yeah. And she said also, like, you know, my drive, my testosterone, my stamina had just like flattened. And so when I spoke, he said, Jace, there's like 1,000 different things that can happen as a result. And we will never know who responds. He said, but you being a mesomorph with your body type, and you know, you carry a lot of muscle mass and stuff, you were predisposed to carry body fat and stuff. And he said, so unfortunately, mate, it's going to be a constant battle for you. And I said, well, I'll get off the fucking tablets. And he said, these tablets are the only thing producing serotonin. Without serotonin, there's no happy chemical. And he goes, then you're on a collision course with suicide, except this time it'll be much worse. And so I thought about my wife and kids, and I thought, you know what, taking tablets for the rest of my life and being a fat cunt, if that's what I've got to do, I've got to do it. Over these last, 10, 12 years, I've seen dietitians, I've seen, you know, all these different people to try, because I'd get a little bit lean, a little bit more, back would go, and then all of a sudden, you know, like I'm up 5, 7, 8 kilos of just pure belly fat. And it starts playing with your head. Being a sensei, you know, coach, all that sort of stuff, I never wanted my kids to be able to see me as a slob, even though I'm not, you know, like, I like to try and think I do as much as I can with the amount of injuries I'm carrying. And I know that other people with my injuries are doing, you know, not even 10% of what I'm doing. So I try and use that as motivation. Nothing against them, it's just my mindset. But I haven't taken my shirt off around anyone for such a long time. You know, like, even though I'm in a triple XL shirt, I need that for my shoulders, but, you know, I don't want to stretch my shirt out anymore because I'm trying to hide a gut, and, you know, people look at you and they're like, catch up with old mates from the army stuff, and like, fuck, Jace, what happened to you, mate? You used to be a fucking cyborg. And I'm like, you have a good laugh and a fucking high five and that, but inside it fucking hits you, because you're like, fuck, I know I was that cunt. I know I was that person, and I'm no longer that person, and it hits you hard. So it's like a rock and a hard place. Like, battling the black dog is something that I would never wish upon anyone. And I've decided that I'm going to share a video of my body, what I look like right now, and I'm going to set a challenge that within a year's time I'm going to create a little page, and it's just going to be an open page for any man that wants to join this little challenge that we're going to put. I haven't even got a name for it yet, so if you've fucking got a good name, put it in the comments. But all I want to do is every week, every fortnight, every month or so, you post your videos and your photos in this group, this page, and we help motivate each other, and we keep track of each other, and we keep each other accountable to try and change our lives. Like, I've engaged a nutritionist to help me. So we're doing a full breakdown profile of I'll take 8 tablets a night. And so we've got to look at those 8 tablets, and a lot of the byproduct of them is taking them increases cortisol. So that's why I have so much fat that I won't put it on my legs, arms, or anywhere else, but it goes straight to my chin and it goes straight to my guts. But it's at the point now where I can't handle seeing the bloke in the mirror looking back going, Jace, who the fuck are you? You know, like, you've really let yourself go, mate. Your wife must fucking be so disappointing. Your kids must look at you and go, fuck, my dad was a soldier. And, you know, like, this is in my head. They don't say that, obviously. This is my headspace, and it's one of those things you have to learn to wrestle with. But I'll share this video. It's the hardest thing for me to do. Like, I know I talk about positivity and never giving a fuck and stuff like that, but this has always been the hardest thing for me, because it's not my image that I'm trying to maintain. It's my spirit of being that person that I always wanted to be, and then realizing that people that look up to me for that spirit would then realize that, hey, he's not, you know, he's carrying fat, he's carrying all this stuff, you know, like, for years we've known him to be this physical machine, and now he's like, he's nothing like that. So I'm going to use this as motivation to claw my way back to that. There'll be times where my injuries put me back out, put me back in hospital, make me not be able to move, not be able to do anything. If my back goes, you know, I'm on pain meds. The longest period this year was I lost use of my legs for 2 weeks. As soon as I could walk again, I got my crutches and I went straight back to the dojo and taught. But I don't let everyone know how bad this is. I've got another shoulder surgery to go on the right, and once that's functional, then they're going to look at removing the 6 discs in my lower spine, and then that'll be a whole different fight in itself. But I'll stop waffling. I'll share this video that I got my daughter to take with me while we're down here at the Airbnb, in the hopes that it helps motivate someone else. Again, this is not a video looking for any sort of sympathy, any sort of likes, any sort of things like that. It's just, hey, if I can help change another bloke's mindset and physical body, and have him along for the journey, or have him having someone accountable and him keep me accountable, or even if there's 100 of us, then that's mission accomplished. Yeah, that's a fucking good mission. So, as I always say, life is a fight. Never give up. I try a lot lately to battle those thoughts. So it's time to do something about it. Remember, team, life is a fight. Never give up. Oos.
Go.
Front. Side. Back.
Nice ass cheeks.
Left side.
Beautiful shot.